Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask?
Hi, Stuart. It's Paula. I'm so moved by the profound experiences. And when I look at the spectrum of what humans experience, and I'm grateful for these moments of such incredible beauty. And I just wonder why we're so complex, why we get
We make
by.
ourselves complex, Paula.
Yeah,
We're not complex. We make ourselves complex. It's very simple. We have chakra systems. Those systems give us, each and every one of us, an opportunity to build our humanity, to get closer to God, to have a spirit. It's very simple. We have breath, we have mind, we have all the tools. But, we substitute all of these tools and all of this stuff for, things of the world. We make it complex. It's not complex. We make the world, what we look out and see in the objective world is the complexity of our own mind, the complexity of our own emotions. We project that onto the world, and the world becomes that for us. Now, if we got a quiet mind and we got an open heart and we got a balance and harmony inside, the world would stop being so complex. It'd be very simple. People would love each other. They'd let each other be. But everybody is vying for position and power, and who knows better than everybody else. And
right.
And it's just stupid, So all that simplicity is just gone. It just goes away. People chase it away. We're born simple. We're not born complex. Look at infants. Look what they look like.
Right.
But we make it complex. We have an educational systems that make it complex.
Agreed.
We have minds that make it very complex. It's not complex. And the whole point of this meditation is to get a quiet mind, to get an open heart, to get harmony, balance in oneself. It doesn't mean we live life less. It means we actually can live life more. We're not confronted by all the encumbrances that the human mind creates that make it impossible for us to, and then we begin to substitute money and power and relationships and all this horizontal stuff, which is important because in order to live in the world, we need to make money. We need to have relationships. We need to have people that we love in life, family. That's very necessary. But what happens is we human beings turn all of these horizontal goals into God. Money is God. Power is God. Outdoing the next person, puts us in a better position. You have people like Donald Trump who literally represent the human mind in almost every human being. Guys like that. We all have Trump inside us. We got to learn to subdue that type of energy, to quiet the mind, to not be more important than anybody else, to not ridicule the human race, but to learn from it and grow because of it and allow it to really teach us how to become more human, more full of love and full of compassion for the difficulties that go on here in this world. All of that is simple. The answers are simple. The doing of it is not easy. because we're up against ourselves and we're up against all that complexity that we create. Now, if people would just work on themselves, and doesn't mean you don't have life, you don't have abundance in life and wonderful life and have, love in life and friendships and marriages and all this. I mean, they're all essential to living in the world, these things. But they're just honestly steps on a ladder that should get one closer to God.
Thank you, Stuart.
And just reminders that why do we have to make life so complex? Not necessary. And all that complexity, what does it do? It creates tension, which destroys people because they don't know how to master it. So we have all this complexity about money and this, and and it creates tension, and the tension rips people apart. And not only rips themselves apart, it rips everybody around them apart, unless they learn how to master the tension. And very few people know how to master the tension. And that's what this is about, learning how to master oneself and the tension and starting to use it in a way where it gives life instead of it rips us to pieces and rips other people to pieces, and makes us angry and upset and discontent with this world. It is God's world. Everything that goes on this planet is there to teach us something about ourselves. Everything from sacred places to sacred people to even wars and terrible things that go. They teach us about ourselves. They wouldn't exist if there weren't war inside people, if there wasn't something sacred inside every human being. Does anyone else, I hope this is clear, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Sorry, Stuart, did you say, what did you say wouldn't exist if this, what was the last thing you just said? I didn't quite catch that.
I said that, even things as dreadful as war, as dreadful as people abusing each other, people, they wouldn't exist if those things didn't exist inside each and every one of us. Understand, we're all at war with ourselves, constant battle going on inside people. We all abuse ourselves while we're fighting these wars. Insecurity wars, the vulnerability wars, the conquering of other people, relationship wars. There's constant warfare going on. And then you have the Ukraine. It's a manifestation of the madness that exists inside people. So the whole point of this meditation is to master oneself. Stop being at war with oneself, loving oneself. And I don't mean in an egotistical way. I mean in a deep, profoundly spiritual way. A love that's based on an open heart and compassion and kindness and I'm not naive. I'm not going to stop wars on the planet Earth. But I hopefully can help everyone sitting in this class stop the war that's going on inside themselves. There can be some peace in the valley if people just stop fighting inside themselves. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, um,
Yes.
Go ahead.
so what you're saying is that the fighting that I'm doing with other people is fighting it can stop when I stop fighting in me.
Exactly, Derek. Stop the conflict and chaos in yourself, and you'll find the seed of God living in every single human being that you interact with, even the ones you don't like, and the ones that are a royal pain in the ass. I told that story about 1,000,000,001 times about when I used to work in a bar when I was 25 years old, and there was a bartender there. I couldn't even go get a whiskey sour from that guy without getting into a fight with him. It was terrible and made my working there terrible. And one day I'm standing at the bar and he's talking about going out with his girlfriend to have a midnight breakfast. And it just transformed something in me when he said that. I said, my God, here's a woman who loves this guy. She can sleep with this guy, wake up in the morning next to this guy. I said, she's a saint. She's certainly more than I am. It changed my whole way of looking at that person. Never had a fight with him again. In fact, it wound up, we would stand at the bar there and have conversations about things, you know? It was me. It wasn't him. And everybody, oh, he's a pain in the ass, he's terrible, he's this, he's so angry. As soon as that changed in me, I was able to deal with him differently. And it had changed, our relationship changed. And I can't tell you how many times that type of situation has happened to me. Until I eventually said, okay, Stuart, just shut your mouth and let everybody be a teacher. What can you learn from each and every person who comes into your life? God bless them. Does anyone else have a question they would like to?
Stuart, I was thinking about what you said about complexity, and I was thinking about karma and the connection that it has to us being complex, and maybe the older the soul, the more we have layers that we need to heal, that maybe we come in as innocent babies, but we grow up with not just the craziness of the world, but the karma that we bring in.
Wendy, dear, don't blame it on karma. Well, you can fix it. Everyone can fix it. I can't know, I don't know anybody that was more complex than I was at the age of 25 years old. Anybody. And I was angry, I was upset, I was into drugs, I was into all kinds of crap, you know? I used to go away, I would, oh yeah, in Europe and Africa and constantly on my way to India. And I would spend the first 20 to 25 years, 20 to 25, traveling all over the world, couldn't sit in one place. Terribly complex and unhappy person. And then I learned this meditation exercise, and it didn't stop instantly, but it also enabled me through time and patience and working on myself to free myself of an awful lot of karma. I mean, you know how freeing it was for me to get that email from Vicky and to come to your apartment and spend that time with Bingo? That was an incredible karmic experience that really the two of us surrendered it to God. It was extraordinary. It was extraordinary. So don't blame it on karma. The whole idea is we're born here to learn how to get free of karma. Finally get off that merry-go-round of samsara and karma and suffering and pain and be with God. Be free of all this nonsense that goes on here. Pingo is free of all this nonsense. And that's what she told me while I was working with her. To dancing in the cosmos. Does anyone else have a question? I'm looking forward to seeing you, Wendy, on the 21st. It'll be very nice. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, and God bless you all. And there'll be a meditation on Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And again, I always say it, I'll say it again. You all are my teacher. Everyone needs a teacher. You are my teacher. Your presence here makes me work so deep inside myself that I have nothing but gratitude for each and every one of you that attends these classes. So God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Stuart.
Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Good
You're
night.
Thank you,
Good
Stuart.
night.